Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today, we're going to review the Berny Titanium T2576M. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing the Seastern S434, and Grogo is wearing my Nepic 6026. Grogo says that Life Day is becoming way too commercial. Nobody even waits for Thanksgiving anymore. Even the Night Sisters are having a Life Day sale. I said, what are they selling? He said if you contract a murder, they'll bring someone back from the grave for free. It's a life and death situation. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this Berny box. Every Berny I've had comes in a box just like this. And every Berny I've had comes on this brown pillow. It's a nice pillow, nice box. And here is the watch. Isn't that a very nice looking watch? I really like it. I think they did a really good job with this dial here. This is the 5th Berny on my channel. This seems to be a new upgrade to the Berny T2576, which has been out for a while now. I never reviewed that watch as I was never a fan of the dial, which seemed to be a Type B Flieger style. Normally I like a Type B Flieger, but there was something about the font Berny used that just left me cold. This 2576 appears to have the exact same case, bracelet, and movement, but I find the dial hands and indices to be so much more visually pleasing. I really like the looks of this watch. This watch is made of titanium, and normally I love a nice titanium watch, but the main advantage of titanium is that it will make a big chunky watch not near as heavy. At 37 millimeters and a quartz at that, this watch would not have weighed much more than 100 grams in solid steel. So all the titanium is doing is making an already light watch feather light. Unlike the 2566 that comes in several colorways, this one comes in black or white. It appears that the white is a Lume dial. I just thought the black looked better. If you don't want the Berny name, there is a sterile option. If you don't want a bracelet, there is also a double pass canvas option that is a little cheaper, but why would you want a titanium watch without the bracelet? The watch is 35.8 millimeters at the bezel, 37.4 millimeters at the case, 43.5 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links. It's only 8.8 millimeters thick. This is one of the thinnest watches I've ever reviewed. Has a 20 millimeter lug width and weighs only 70 grams on the supplied titanium bracelet with 2 links removed. So this watch is indeed feather light for an all metal watch. The bezel is a bead blasted titanium, which is the same finish as the rest of the watch. And then we have the dial. The dial is a flat black, very deep black. I like it. We have the Berny name up top. Then on the bottom, it says Quartz and titanium. Then we have the indices. We have the 12, 3, 6, and 9. And then we have batons everywhere else. And then we also have half batons where the numbers are. Then we have minute markers too. I always like having minute markers, just makes setting the watch easier. And then we have the hands. We have sword hands. We have the hour hand and the minute hand, and they are loomed, and they are very well loomed. And then we have an orange second hand, and this is a VH31 movement, so it ticks 4 times a second. And so you don't have to worry about having that quartz secondhand OCD where it misses the marks, because it's impossible for it to miss the marks. Or if it does, it's so quick you'll never notice. And there is no date on this watch, and the VH31 doesn't have a date, so there is no ghost date either. Normally I like a date, but in this case I'm glad there is no date, because I think this the 3 looks great. The crown is unsigned. It's a push-pull, and it's super tiny. Look how small that is. It's kind of awkward to pull it out just because it's so small, and it's kind of hard to get a fingernail in because you can't grip it. It's just too tiny, so you have to use a fingernail to get it out. And once again, there is no date, so you won't be using this crown a lot since this is a quartz watch. You'll only be setting it maybe a couple times a year because you don't have to worry about leap year or 30-day months or anything like that, because there is no date. So and since this quartz is so accurate, maybe 2 or 3 times a year you'll actually use the crown. Then we have a flat sapphire crystal. I think they did a good job there. I don't see a lot of reflection. This must have some AR coating, because look at that. There's hardly any reflection at all. So yeah, this must have AR coating. Then we have the case. The case is super thin. It's a bead blasted titanium, and it just looks great. I think they did a good job with the case, made it nice and small. The case back though is a press-on. It says Berny, gives the model number, and it says quartz movement. Water resistant 5 ATM. You only get 50 meters, and there's the little slot for the pry bar. I really wish they would have had a screw down case back. I don't think the crown would have mattered, because the crown's so tiny anyway, you're never going to pop it out accidentally underwater. But it would have been nice to have a screw down case back in 100 meters. Underneath the case back is the VH31 movement. This is made by Seiko, and it ticks 4 times a second. So once again, you get a smooth sweeping second hand, and you don't have to worry about it missing the marks like you do a lot of quartz movements. You get the quartz accuracy, but the visual appeal of an automatic. Of course, I'm pretty sure ticking 4 times a second, I'm sure the battery doesn't last as long as a once a second, but batteries are so cheap. Don't go to Battery Patrol or Battery Plus to get your batteries changed. Just buy them on Amazon, do it yourself. It's not that difficult. The bracelet is a 3-link. It's kind of got those center links that kind of look like omega links, but they're not actually joined together or anything. That's just a pattern in the link. And then the side links are joined with the center links, so it's not fully articulating. And we do have solid inverted end links though, but no drilled lugs. It would have been nice to have some drilled lugs, because this being titanium, if you take the bracelet off, you are going to scratch it. Then we have push pin adjusters, not screw pins. I'm perfectly fine with that. They come out easy, go in easy, and I never have to worry about them coming out on me. And then we have the clasp. The clasp is a basic press clasp, but it is titanium, and it does the job. It's not a nice looking clasp. It's not milled or anything, but it's perfectly fine for the type of watch it's on. I'd rather have this than a butterfly or one with no micro adjust. At least you have 3 holes, and 3 holes of micro adjust is plenty when the links are this small. I often complain when they don't have 4, but when the links are this small, 3 is plenty. You will get the good fit. This thing's so light, you don't need the perfect fit anyway. Here is the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks and wears great. Really light. You can barely tell it's on. It's only 70 grams, which is really light for a metal watch. 37 millimeters though is a little small for my wrist. I would wish they would have made it in 39, but then again, I have a larger than average wrist. So a lot of you will be perfectly happy with 37. Here we are in the Lume room. If I would have got the white one, I would have a fully lumed dial, but I bought the black, and only the hands are lumed. But it's still a really good lume though. As we speed up the time, we see that we have great glowing BGW9 hands with an orange glowing second hand. Although the orange is a nice touch, it isn't the strongest and is fading fairly fast. But look at that hour and minute hand glow. They are hardly fading at all and are still going strong till the end of this test. It's just too bad that there is no index lume so you can see where the hands are pointing. What do I like about this watch? Well, I really like the hands and the dial. I think it's very visually appealing. I like the orange second hand, how it stands out. I like the fact that it has a VH31 movement, so you don't have to worry about any second-hand alignment issues. And it really does have first-rate hand loom. One of my grapes and groans, tiny little crown, really, really tiny. Has a press-on case back and only 50 meters water resistance. Even though the hand loom is great, there's no index loom. And they could have added a few more links for the bracelet for larger wrists. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, it looks and wears great. Although keep in mind this watch is very light and small, so it might not be for the big wristed. Yes, the crown is horrible, but since this is a no-date quartz, you're only going to use it a couple times a year anyway. And other than that, if you like titanium, then this is the watch for you. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Berny T2576M, and I will be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.